How's it going? It's Rocky. Welcome to week 6 of our $2,000 weekly challenge. What is the $2,000 weekly challenge? Essentially, it's a journey of us trading the micro E-mini futures, where our goal is to earn $2,000 every week. And on Fridays, we show content of us reviewing our statement to be able to show you what our cash balance is at the beginning of the week, and what the cash balance is at the end of the week. Before we go through how we did on our statement, I just want to show you what our charts look like for the week itself. Like with every content that I have, on the left we have 5-minute candles, which is a time-based chart, and on the right we have a 512 tick chart, which is using Heikin-Ashi candles. So for this week, I'm quite happy with how we did this week. Unfortunately, we didn't reach a $2,000. You'll see that in a bit. What I do like about this week is that I focus on my strategy. I really focus on being mechanical and following my strategy. And because of that, I am proud of how we did this week. Essentially, if you look, you don't see any you don't see too many gray circles on the chart itself, which is what I do to show a losing trade itself. I actually just had one losing trade, which if we zoom in, I will be able to show you right there. So we actually just had one losing trade for the week, which is pretty good. All the trades are pretty much winning trades, which I will be able to show you on the account statement. All right, now let's review how we did for the week. On Monday, we made $461. On Tuesday, we made $377. On Wednesday, we made $408. And on Thursday, I wasn't trading much this day, but we made $175.84. And then Friday, we ended the week at $229 before the long 3-day weekend, giving us a net profit of $1,650.84. Like I mentioned, it didn't meet the $2,000 goal that we have, but I was quite proud of how we traded this week because I didn't try to hold things overnight. I didn't have too many emotional trades, and I was just mechanical and systematic as much as possible throughout my trades itself. Now to review our account statement. So if you look on this column here on the amount area, you can see that most of these numbers are positive, with the exception of a negative 1,000 right here in the middle. And the reason for that is we did withdraw $1,000 of cash this week, which is something I like to do weekly to pay myself, to pay for the bills or to invest in my long-term investments. The one losing trade that I showed on the charts earlier would be this one trade right here, where our gross profit was $5. But with the commissions of trading the E-mini futures, which is $7.50, that ended up being a net of a negative $2.50. For the week, our best trade was a trade here of $155, and we have a bunch of $100, which is essentially what I'm shooting for every time I enter a trade. All right, now we have our calculator here, and essentially we were ending the week here at $18,638.28. However, we did withdraw $1,000, so we're gonna add $1,000 to that, and we started the week at $17,987.44. And that's how we came up with our net profit of $1,650.84. So how we're measuring our success is basically on our cash balance itself. So this is not the equity value, not the growth in equity value. But for my trading account for micro futures, most of it I try to keep in cash itself. And that's how we measure our progress every week. Another perspective that we can look at with what we gained this week is, let's just high level assume it's a 40-hour work week. and we made a gross. Our gross paycheck is 1,650.84 divided by the 40-hour week, and essentially that gives you an hourly rate of $41.27. So a little bit of a misconception. Most people see those, day traders online who make thousands and thousands of dollars and they only have to work a few minutes or anything like that. I'm guilty of it a little bit by using some of those on my tagline, like $100 in 5 minutes. But in reality, trading is not something that you can do quick, I guess. I try to do this full time, so I do devote a lot of hours before and after that. So you could say that sometimes I do spend more than 40 hours a week. And you may ask, is it worth it? Definitely, because I am my own boss. I do have flexibility, and it's something I enjoy a lot to do. So anyway, now I want to show you some of my trades that I did today, Friday, February 12th. This is just as a confirmation of the strategy that we are using. If you are curious on what the strategy is, it's on the description below. It's for free. There's no catch. There's no courses. There's no link that you have to go to, but I try to describe as simple as possible the reasons why I enter a trade and why I exit a trade. And also, please check out the checklist I have on some of my day trading, live day trading content. I don't do too often of those because it's really difficult to trade and be speaking on a microphone at the same time. But I do have a link of the playlist up above here if you're curious about some of my past live day trading videos, and I try to come up with new ones whenever I have the opportunity to. And I'll try to do more of it moving forward if it is something that's very useful to folks out there. So essentially we just did 3 trades today, and that gave us $229. We had 2 shorts and 1 long. How I denote my trade is essentially every time it's a blue line, that's when I open a contract. And when I close a contract and I shorted, I denote that by a purple line. And if I'm long, when I close a contract, I denote that by an orange line. So I'm just going to zoom in on our first trade here. And let me just hide the active trader in the middle just so we can look at both screens without me having to zoom in on the chart itself. So on the left, on our time base here, you can see that the MACD did crossover. And if that's hard to see on the actual crossover here, always look at the histogram itself so you can see how it switched from a green to a red, which is a bearish signal. But I do look at the stochastic RSI to see if it's in agreement. So it is headed on the oversold area. And I also look on the corresponding tick chart on the right. So you did see that it crossed over as well. And the stochastic RSI is headed to the oversold. So we shorted at 31,342. And basically we closed the contract at 31,320. And basically, if you look at my live videos, you can tell that once we're already on the green, I do change my OCO where the stop, I change that to a trailing stop. And that's how I keep it mechanical and get the emotions out of it. Yes, there's some slippage, and yes, I miss out on the top or the bottom of the dips. I mean the top of the curve or bottom of the curve, but that's okay because I'm not trying to hit those peaks because you can get in trouble trying to chase those. But anyway, for this trade, that's a delta 42 to 20. That's a delta of 22. And since I'm trading the E-mini futures here, 1 tick is equal to $5. So 22 times 5, this trade right here is $110. And then on our next trade here, that was still part of the same crossover. Let me zoom out a little here. So that was still part of that crossover. And basically, the reason I entered was based on the histogram itself. You can see it's starting to diverge. And that's why I entered this trade. It actually had a bit of a drawdown, which was worrisome a little bit. But I wasn't too worried because I was confident that it was going to keep going down based on what I was seeing on the candles on both the time chart and the tick chart itself. So for this one, we entered at 31,315 and exited at 21,295. So that's a delta of 20. So 20 times 5, that's $100 trade right there. And then our last trade of the day, it's one of those where our what if kind of trade, but that's something I've taught myself when trading is hindsight is 2020. So don't, hit yourself too much for missing out on a nice run. But for this one, we did go long on this trade, and the reason for that is MACD crossover did occur earlier on at about 10:40 a.m. It was zigzagging a little bit, but when I saw a bit more of a divergence, which I can see from the histogram itself, and then based on the candles, I was seeing higher highs. And then the new indicator that I'm back testing right now, which is the ATR trailing stop, you did see it switch here from purple to the blue. So that gave me a lot of signal that it's going to be a bullish move. I didn't think it would be quite bullish. But anyway, that also corresponds to the tick chart that we have on the right, which is using Heikinashi, where MACD is also diverging and we are on the overbought area on this stochastic RSI. We did enter at 31,347. Our exit was at 31,355. That's about a modest trade delta of 8, which gave us about $40 gross. What's unfortunate about this is it kept going up to about 31,400s here. So if we held on, that would have been, 50 ticks times 5, $250 trade. But something I like to do with my strategy is once I reach, past 10 ticks or so, I do place my OCO and I change it to I change my stop to a trading stop. If you can look at my other content, that's how I usually exit a trade. And that's why I was stopped out of this. Do I feel bad? Not really, because that's really part of my system there. Because it could have, you never know where it'll go. It could have kept going down where I would have lost on that trade that was a winning trade. So I'd rather that I lock in the profits. And if it goes, great. If it doesn't, well, at least I locked in some profits itself. But anyway, those are some of the trades that I had. If you're curious of what I use to enter or exit a trade, please check out the description below. And I also have a link above of the playlist that we have of some of our live day trading videos. And then also, if you ask me, how do I know, am I watching the screen all day for a MACD crossover? No, not really. I actually do have 2 scanners that I use. And in one of my content, if there is some interest, I'll try to show you exactly what that scanner is that alerts me when a MACD crossover occurs. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that content. Please subscribe if you learned something, but if not, please give me another chance, and hopefully you'll learn something on our future content. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Have a good one.